We left 4 minutes for those who are coming late, so I think it's time to start. So, good morning, everyone, and welcome to our webinar, Human-AI Collaboration in Security. This event is organized by JALUD Embedded, a company based in Plzeň in Czech Republic that develops smart detectors for sound events, in collaboration also with Axis Communication, a global Swedish manufacturer of advanced security cameras with video analytics. Both technologies are, of course, enhanced by elements of artificial intelligence. This will be one of the most important topics today. Before we jump in, just a few practical notes. This webinar is being recorded and we will share the recording with you afterwards. If you have a question at any point, feel free to type into the Q&A question. The chat is closed, so Q&A question is important for you section. We will try to cover some questions during the main discussion, and we will also leave time at the end of the webinar to go through more in detail. The main part of this webinar will take about 45 minutes to an hour, we will see. After that, we will continue with an open Q&A and discussion, as I already said. If there will be an interest, so if you want to stay longer and go deeper, you are very welcome. If you are short on time, feel free to leave after the main session wraps up. No problem at all. And with that, let's begin. So, why we are here? What's the purpose of our webinar? AI has a huge potential in security, but the truth is, it is still not used enough. Most systems still operate in very ineffective old school way. They just record video footage and that's basically it. Used only reactively after something goes wrong. But automation enabled by AI can really change that. It can detect faster, react quicker, and most important, filter only the most relevant events and alarms. That means better decisions, lower costs, and it can literally save lives, health, and material values. Still, let's be honest, adoption is slow, particularly because of how public procurement works, and partially because people think AI is too complex or simply don't see the value yet. But fortunately, we have to say that things are moving forward, slowly but surely. We see some smarter sensors today, like AI cameras, sound detectors, doing more and more. But the problem is detection might improve, but what is not improving is response. It's still very slow, often outdated, sometimes missing completely. That's why security operation centers, or SOCs, as we call them in a shortcut, need a fresh approach. Instead of staring at many screens and watching endless video streams, AI should filter out the noise and highlight only relevant, actionable events to show only what matters. So the human operators can act faster, with confidence and focus. And today we will explore exactly that. So my name is Dalibor. I'm security expert and PhD researcher focusing on the integration of modern technologies into public space safety and crime prevention. I also work as business developer at Axis Communications, a Swedish producer of security cameras and other sensors using AI, and I'll be your moderator today. So I'm really glad we can explore these topics together. The key voices of today's webinar are carefully selected specialists in physical security, safety technologies, and real-world protection strategies. We have invited experts who view these challenges from different angles, combining experience from public institutions, critical infrastructure, urban safety, and smart technologies. And now let me briefly introduce them to you. So we have here Pavel Bacík, expert in OSINT and the strategic use of AI for early stage threat identification. Then we have Lukáš Převrátil. Lukáš brings hands-on expertise in security systems for industrial sites and high security facilities. Then we have Pavel Bacík, who leads the development of a forward-thinking security operations center in the city of Plzeň. And finally, we have Lukáš Svoboda, who focuses on embedded security technology and AI-powered detection of acoustic threats. So these will be heroes of today, and they will be the main part of our webinar. But we will start with you. To help us warm up, get you involved, and also learn a bit more about you, we have prepared a few short icebreaker questions for you. So it's a surprise maybe for you. So a pop-up window now appeared on your screen, and we kindly ask you to take a moment to fill it in. Your answers are completely anonymous, don't be worried, and we will not be shared publicly. So this is just to help us better understand our audience. So you have a few seconds, basically, or up to 1 minute, 30 seconds for you to answer, and then we will end the poll. You will still have an opportunity to fill something in the poll at the end of the webinar, where we prepared the wrap-up feedback pop-up window for you as well, to tell us how it was for you. Okay, so thank you for your answers. Let's end the poll and we will go on. A few more seconds and then we'll finish. So, and now I would like to kick things off with a warm-up question for our panelists. So now it's a time for panelists to help us open the discussion. So, dear panelists, keep your answer short, up to 30 seconds each, just to set the tone for today's topic. So the question is, how do you currently see the role of humans and AI in physical security? And we will go one by one. In the same order I introduced our speakers in the previous slide. So let's start with Paolo. Paolo, over to you.
How do I see the role of humans and AI in physical security? I think everyone understood the potential of a synergy, that of course both can benefit each other. The biggest problems that I see in this collaboration, there are still, of course, biases and not a lot of trust in AI systems. So what I see that humans have realized that there is AI. On one hand, either it scares them or it's so complex that they don't really know how to really use that in their processes. So I think the connection is there. People see the potential, but till now we were unable to really put the power on the street, we would say. So we know that has a lot of horsepowers, but we still don't know how to transfer this energy into actually into the processes and security teams. That's my opinion.
Okay, thank you.
Lukas,
so
what do you think?
The processes are the issue. Okay, Lukas, go ahead.
Good morning. At the moment, we use AI mainly as a tool, but we are actively working on ways to make it support our people to make better decisions. So, yeah, that's
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Lukáš. Pavel, handing the mic over to you.
First, do you hear me? Everything is okay?
Yes, very well.
Great. Thank you for having me. My answer is, I think when we are talking about physical security, I don't see AI as a replacement for people. I see AI as a tool, a powerful one that can dramatically improve how fast and how accurately we make decisions. And in a world when we are facing real shortages of police officers, city guards, is the context of Czech Republic especially. So we need to train operators. AI help us sort through the amounts of data and bring attention to what really matters. For now, I would like to say that I'm an AI enthusiast, but a realistic one, and but still optimist. So this is my answer.
Great, I like it. Lukáš, microphone is yours now.
Hi, thank you also for having me. I believe similar to Pavel, what he says that AI is becoming essential in physical security, but it is not replacing humans. It's kind of augmenting them. The humans can bring a context, a judgment, maybe empathy that AI doesn't have and will not have in a couple of future years that are ahead. So I believe that the current like the next years will be more on the security will lie on multimodal systems such as video and audio analysis combined and working together and create like smart collaborations that AI handles the monitoring and alerts, and on the other hand side, people will make the critical decision.
Thank you, Lukáš. So if I understood well and heard you well, the keywords out of your answers were collaboration, missing processes, but not replacement in the short term. So we have the same question for you, dear participants. So we would like to ask you this very same question. So again, we will give you 30 seconds to 1 minute for a short remark. Hopefully, you had some time to think about this topic while our panelists were sharing their answers. So please, if we can ask you to fill in your short opinions, how do you currently see the role of humans and AI in physical security? If you can use only the keywords and you want to make it really like short. So let's give you 10 more seconds and then we will continue. Okay, I will continue and you can go on if you want. So thank you for your answers. So this brings us basically to the end of our initial introduction and warm-up part. And let's now move into the core part of today's webinar, the main discussion and topic-driven questions. So let's start with Lukáš Převrátil, a specialist in remote facility management and advanced security technologies with extensive experience from their SOC called Innovis space in Prague. Lukáš, the microphone is yours. And the first question for Lukáš is, how do your clients approach modern security and how does Innovis support AI integration? So over to you, Lukáš.
Thank you. Our experience is that most camera systems are still used in passive mode, meaning mainly for investigation of camera records. Interesting is that clients even have camera systems with smart features installed, but they don't know about them or don't know how to use them. So our mission at M2C Innovis is to show customers that with automation and AI, camera systems or sound detectors can be used actively to respond right away when problems happen. Clients come to Innovis because we can effectively integrate AI in their existing security infrastructure, which greatly increases the system. A typical example is our space surveillance center, where we actively develop this approach. 90% of our clients are from the private sector, so they are quite open to modern security technologies, AI, and everything about this topic. They understand the clear cost savings from outsourcing and upgrading their security systems. Big advantage is also the overall efficiency. AI helps lower the long-term running costs.
Thank you. I heard words like it's still passive, and you try to make it active. So I think this is one of the important part of us who are kind of pioneers in using modern technology. Thank you very much. And following question is also connected with your experience in Innovis Space Operation Center. How do you view human AI collaboration at the Space Center? Now it's more regarding the relationship. Go ahead.
Maybe I should clarify at the beginning how we see AI, because it's a very broad tool. When we talk about AI in security, it's mainly about image processing or sound recognition and recognizing specific situations. Before AI became a buzzword, we call it computer vision, which was used long before ChatGPT and other tools like this. And I have to say that this computer vision has reached a point where it is better than a human in capacity, accuracy, and speed. So it's a great tool for us because it's help our camera operators to see and hear better. For example, human operator might recognize a person at a distance of 10 meters from the camera, while AI can do it at 40 meters. But as we all know, AI is not perfect yet and make mistakes. So the human factor is still essential. So AI continuously monitors and alerts, and the human makes decisions and takes action.
Thank you. Yeah, go ahead.
I want to add, we are not only using AI for image or sound recognition, because with the rise of language model as GPT, we also found it useful in areas like writing incident reports. So yeah, that's our experience with AI.
Great. So you mentioned the important remark that the buzzword AI is today somehow very broad, and speaking about physical security, usually it's not about yet, at least about long LLMs, language models, and generative AI. It's more about deep learning, machine learning, and these things like you mentioned. Yes, it's right. So, and I heard words like collaboration and basically working together, AI and humans. Okay, thank you very much for your remarks. And then who we have next? So now it's time to turn to another physical security specialist with hands-on experience in running in security operation centers, Pavel Bacík. Pavel currently leads the operation center at the IT administration of city of Plzeň in the Czech Republic, which is considered one of the most forward-thinking security operation center when it comes to modern security concepts. So the first question to you, Pavel, is what convinced the city of Plzeň to build an AI-powered SOC? Over to you, Pavel.
Okay. I think it's a great question. First, I should mention that I've only been working at SIT for a few months. Before that, I spent 11 years at Ministry of Interior. But even back then, that I knew SIT as a forward-thinking and innovating partner, one of the few public institutions that wasn't afraid to try new things. In many ways, it was seen from Ministry of Interior and my colleagues on Ministry of Interior as a kind of innovation lab inside the public sector. It was very inspirable. And if you are asking for a decision to build a modern security operations center, so I think the decision to build a new AI-based security operations center, it really came from the vision and bold approach of director of SIT, Luděk Šantora, and his team. It's fair to say that Luděk Šantora is the real and the brave visionary here, and SIT under his lead was one of the few public institutions in the country, in Czech Republic, that was willing to say the old way of doing camera surveillance doesn't work anymore. And they look at the data, did a solid analysis, and most importantly, explained the problem clearly to the city leadership and got their support for change.
So I heard the words like vision. It's about people, data-driven, smart city leadership. So this is what I heard in your answer. So yeah, this was important remarks. Thank you very much for your answer. And again, also the second question for you is aiming to your experience with your smart city security operations center in Pilsen. What is the impact and operator efficiency and decision making? Over to you, Pavel, again.
I think this new approach really changed everything. We completely changed how to control room works. In the past, the operators had to sit in front of the dozens of screens and watch the constant stream of video. It was tiring and frankly not very effective. Now, especially thanks to AI, they only focus on what really matters. The system sends them clear text alerts. When something unusual happens, video is still here or still there, but especially for verifying the situation. First benefit is that this makes decision making much faster and more accurate. And secondly, it saves people time and energy. So yes, we made the operator's job much more efficient. They don't waste time on routine monitoring anymore. They focus on real decisions, and it's important. And there's something interesting with good AI and smart analysis of image and sound. Normal people can do more than you have expected. It's sometimes that you have something like a sixth sense. Logically, they don't have superpowers, of course, but their system helps them hear and see more than a human could notice on their own. It shows them what really matters and helps them react in the right moment. I can give you a short example. When I was a director of Refugee Facilities Administration, we had old system in detention centers. It means dozens of screens, and police and private security, which must cooperate together, both did their best, but tools were very limited. And the human attention has its own limits. It's just natural. People got tired, lost focus, and sometimes even fall asleep. We had to rotate people every hour just to keep them alert. It wasn't sustainable. We had 3 detention facilities, and each one had its own monitor center. So you can imagine how much energy they took just keep people alert and focused. Today, at the municipal police control room in Plzeň, things we are different. Things that we are using IVSIC system, combining with high quality smart cameras like those made by Access, for example. One operator can see more and hear more and respond faster with fewer staff. And this combination gives us a strong and flexible system that helps detect problems early in the real time. In the context, and I talked in the first answer. So when you have a lack of police officers, so AI can help you to be more effective and do what really matters. So be more effective, and I think it's necessity in the future. So this is my answer.
Thank you very much. So I heard that it was not effective before. Decision maker now is faster. It removed inefficient routine. It basically works kind of as a sixth sense, which is quite nice illustration. And you gave us very nice example from detention center, which is basically interesting because I don't know about these things too much. So I'm glad you already started to use it there. So thank you very much, Pavel. And here we go. The next couple of questions will go to Lukáš Svoboda, CEO of JALUD Embedded and a PhD researcher in applied sciences who develops embedded systems for sound-based security detection. So Lukáš, the first question to you is, what role does AI play in the functionality of sound event detectors?
Yeah. From our case, it's definitely it's absolutely crucial to how our sound event detectors work. Without AI, these systems would essentially be only microphones and basic sound thresholds, either too sensitive or not reactive enough. So, what really makes them intelligent, reliable, and usable in the real-world environment is the artificial intelligence at the core that is being used. So they are designed to recognize specific sounds like gunshot, screaming, aggression noises, but also drones and other. The traditional systems without AI might basically constantly trigger false alerts or completely miss the signals that matter. So my opinion is like don't be afraid of the AI, because that's where the AI comes in, and AI basically in our case enables the detector to learn the difference between the background noise and actual events that require attention. Through training on hundreds of thousands of real-world audio samples. And this is critical because that means fewer false alerts and far better reliability. But when you are building such a systems, be aware of word accuracy. Accuracy is nowadays everyone. The customer comes to us and they are all asking us for accuracy. So that's why we are responding what they want to hear, but really, guys, don't do it. Accuracy sounds like a good measure for AI performance, but after all, we want the system to be right and reliable. But in physical security, accuracy can be misleading and even dangerous if taken out of the context. It's usually defined as a percentage of correct prediction out of all predictions, which might work well in a lab environment or balanced data sheet, that data set, but the physical security environments are usually not balanced. For example, gunshot can happen once in a year in a city, and the problem is that when we would have a AI-based solution that would basically predict, and that would be just doing nothing. Basically, it would be saying all the time on every event that there is no gunshot in the environment. Then when such event would occur, one of the 1,000 incidents, it would mean that still our system is 99.9 percent reliable, like the accuracy is 99.99%. So that looks good statistically, but in reality, it means it has completely failed when it mattered the most. So it brings me just to summarize it. AI is really crucial, but rather ask the manufacturer of how the system really works for the particular environment. How many sensors will I need? What will be the alert rate typically for your use case scenario and so on. So there are many good questions you can ask a manufacturer, and if they are reliable and good, they will be willing to answer, and they will have the data to answer those. So this is just, yeah.
Can I have an additional question? Thank you, Lukáš. Since you are a PhD and in acoustics and you really understand it from technical perspective, can you tell us which parts of or subsets of AI are used in sound event detectors? Because we mentioned that it's a big wide buzzword and it has many subsets. Things like deep learning or something like that. And when did you start to use AI already? These AI elements in your products, basically.
Yeah, in our product we have started to build it since 2016. But as I have said, we wanted to release really powerful and reliable tool. So that's where we have ended up for 6 years in just a lab environment, and we were collecting the data and basically making it robust, and started officially with the product in 2022. So and in our case we are using deep neural network, and to be more precise, convolutional neural networks for processing the sound events.
And my question, is it possible that in some near future also large language models will be used in your technology, or is it totally out of the scope?
Yes, the principles of generative AI we are currently actually having one grant that we would like to get for going in this direction, to understand more of the context. You know, there might be children playing on the field or on some playground, and they might suddenly scream, but you know, before there was a joy, then this scream doesn't mean a danger. So we would like to also our AI in the future to understand more context and to be able to distinguish in between such situation, and to have a more deeper knowledge about the environment.
Thanks. And last, sorry for being so detailed in my questions from technical perspective, but I want to use your expertise. What about integrating sound detections or dangerous sound detections with other aspects of security, different security technologies? I'm aiming to multimodal systems.
Yeah.
So what do you think about that? Is it more effective, or is it?
Yes, definitely. The audio analytics is just one of the piece of the puzzle. It's kind of add-on. You always on a security have to think in a complex way, because audio, of course, will not. It's a great tool because everyone kind of nowadays forgets about it, since we have it like for millions of years, developed our ears to be actually notifying us on any kind of dangerous activities, and then we tend to have a look what's going on and evaluate the situation, and that's that's where the multimodal systems will play the key role in the future, because the security will be combination of AI tools from either audio analytics, video analytics functionalities, but also other sensors that will eventually bring up the operation center even more effective.
Mm-hmm. And again, my last question, hopefully, to you. What about privacy? Because privacy is sometimes coming to minds of the people at the first time when we talk about sensors and AIs and cameras and AIs, which are sensors as well. But how do you deal with that? Is it technically doable to make it effective but still safe from the privacy perspective?
Yeah, sure. I think from both sides, also from the video analytics point of view as well as audio analytics, it can be made safe. It's actually something now the EU AI Act is working on the legislation. But from when we will talk not about the legislation, but about us and our technology. It is basically edge technology. So the data are processed within the units that are in the environment, and in a real time the data are analyzed on the edge, and then out of the devices basically goes only the metadata to the operation center. So there are no privacy concern whatsoever in when talking about our particular technology. But I believe the same way it's being done and can be done in other systems that are being used for security after all.
Great. So technically it's doable. It's only up to operator.
Up to the manufacturers, how they will. It's of course to do it working on the edge. It's much harder than sending the data to some centralized high power hardware equipment, like to some server site, and that's where the manufacturers are sometimes making their life easier, that they go this easier direction. But this is also up to the customers how they will approach this, and to know what they shall be asking for.
Thank you very much. So I promised that it will be last question, but I didn't say it will be like last technical question. And I'm spending more time with you because you are the only representative here of the sensor side. Pavel and Lukáš were representing the Security Operations Center, which is basically the other side of the system. And the question to you, which is not so technical, is what are the main barriers, according to your opinion, to broader adoption in the public sector, Lukáš?
Yeah, first there are kind of well-known barriers like the limited budget, long approval timelines. The decision makers are naturally cautious. The other public sector are usually not having Luděk Šantora, the big visionary man his thinking is kind of out of the box of the others. So they want to ensure that any investment is not only secure and compliant, but clearly adds the value. Of course, often is they not that they don't want the innovation, but they are hesitant to adapt basically something they don't fully understand or can't clearly measure. But one of the key critical and kind of overlooked barriers is what happens after the deployment. When you already purchase such a technology, the key isn't just delivering a product, it is making sure it is used properly and consistently. That's where we see the biggest disconnect. with the end users. In all the cases where we have seen no customer response, no feedback, no alerts, it's almost always a sign that the solution was either not installed or integrated properly, or that the operators weren't trained well enough to use it properly. So AI can do a lot, but it cannot work in isolation. It's designed to empower operators, not to replace them. So the real question is, how do we make sure operators trust the system and interact with it in a meaningful way? And that's really crucial, where we see that there is a lot of to be worked on. And the answer lies on 3 practical steps. Create a feedback workflow. It's kind of one. Every time the system basically sends an alert, the operator should be trained to log the result. Was it a real danger, a false alert, or just a normal behavior the system picked up on? This process creates an active loop between the system and the human, and it's how users learn to trust the AI is doing its job, and how they recognize when it is not doing its job. So, and track operator engagement. If there are no responses or records from the operator, that's a red flag. We are building the real-time based solution that shall minimize the damage when something is happening, and when the system is not generating alerts, or nobody is watching, nobody is actually on time answering to those alerts, then it's not AI problem, then it's operation problem. And you can't fix what you don't measure, basically. So measure the operator reaction time. One of the biggest benefits of AI in public safety is faster reaction. So if AI is doing its job, it should help reduce the average time between the detection and the response. So try to measure this, track this metric. Tracking this metric is kind of essential. And so in summary, the barriers in the public sector are not just financial or bureaucratic, but they are also behavioral and operational.
Thank you. So with the nice logical bridge, we ended up with the Security Operations Center again, which is great because it actually just underlines how these 2 things have to work together: sensors for detection and operation centers for reaction, and one cannot live without the other. And the good approach and smart approach is put them together as a one solution. Thank you very much for insightful opinions and deep view. And last but not least,
sorry, Dalibor, but could I react very shortly? I would like to back to the words of Lukáš Svoboda from JALUD, because we are using JALUD technologies, and I think we are really unique in Czech Republic in the multidimensional lab of our SOC. I would like to confirm that it's better, it's more effective, and it's really good step to use these technologies together. Cameras together with the JALUD technologies, it can hear and listen other things. This first thing. And second thing, I will, if I can, I would like to react for this question about the public sector, because I'm working in public sector a lot of years, so I have a lot of experience. I think these are 3 things why there are barriers. First, limited budget. It's logical. Last few years in the context of Czech Republic, so there are no money for investment for these technologies. So this is first most important answer. Second, lack of visionary. We talk about Luděk Šantora. I think that he can speak with politicians and can give them the feedback and data about the effectiveness is very important. So second thing, visionary. And third thing, maybe surprise for you, it's a lack of will. When you compare the situation of the crisis, for example, I don't know, refugee crisis, which was here last 3 years. So the things what wasn't possible in the last things during the crisis was possible in a few months. So it's about the will and about the context. Where is the will, the politician will? There is the results. And last thing, I'm hearing that sometimes I'm hearing that politicians are really conservative. I wouldn't say that public sector is always conservative. From what I've seen, politicians like things that shows quick results, but in security, that approach doesn't always work. So you need solutions that last and make a real difference. And I think this is the reason why Plzeň were for something new, a proof of concept using smart video detections inside the cameras and sound analysis developed by, for example, JALUD company. So this is my answer for this, and sorry for interruption, but I think it's good to say it.
Great. This is great. Thank you for your inputs. Anybody else? If anybody want to jump in and share,
this is why I basically I'm bringing up those kind of 3 practical steps because this is something really unique what we see in a Plzeň, and we are getting the reports on monthly basis. So we regularly have the feedback of how the system works, how reliable is. The same police has the information of how the system is working, how their operation is working, how they are accessing the alerts, if they are also measuring the operator reaction time. They see that they are really working together with the AI, that they react to the alerts and so on. And this is really this gives us a lot of the feedback and output of the system, how it works, how reliable it is, and make it possible to make it even better from our side, because we have the data to work on.
Yeah. So thank you. So measuring is important to have a feedback. Great. Thank you very much, guys. And as I said, last but not least, we have next 2 questions for Pavel Bacík. He's an OSINT specialist based in Munich, focusing on open source intelligence, OSINT, and strategic analysis. So, Paolo, let's start with the first question. You work with open source intelligence every day. So here is the first question. Can AI improve information quality and reduce noise?
Thank you, Dalibor, for also the invite and speaking here. Yeah, I'm more in the OSINT side, but that's why I'm looking at AI more as a general tool or as a potential future technology that we can use. And for me as an OSINT analyst, it doesn't really matter. I know Lukas and Pavel are more into the sound detecting and video. But I see AI in OSINT more as a tool. I'm gonna summarize what we already talked about. So for me, it doesn't matter what chatter it is, if it's an audio, if it's a keyword search, or any other chatter out there. We are flooded with an amount of data, and that is increasing over time. So there, I think, is the biggest potential in improving quality and reduce the noise. A good AI model can filter this vast amount of data and filter it and categorize it through the library that it becomes manageable. I cannot work with 10,000 doubles. AI can already take out the doubles, for example, and help you filter in an understandable way the information that are coming in. So in the end, it's kind of triage, so from medicine. So it categorizes everything what's coming in and helping you save time and analyzing the data. So in the end, it allows you faster decision making, which then becomes more relevant for me as an OSINT analyst, but it doesn't really matter if it's me as an analyst or other decision maker in a SOC. So it helps you saving time, taking doubles out, and therefore improve the quality, because in the end, we need to make decision on that. And a side effect we already talked about is it's slowing down the tiredness of people. When I look at the screen all the time and I see vast amount of data on my screen, I could relate when you talked about looking at monitors. In OSINT, we used in the past a lot of dashboards where we see a lot of posts coming in, like a tweet deck, and try to see if we find in this noise some useful information. There, of course, AI will change a lot. And I see it more as a double, so changing their game in two main fields. One is it's a ruthless noise suppressor. So we have so much data coming in. If it's any source, it suppresses the noise and then filters it, so we can have a better anomaly detection. So for me, it doesn't matter if it's a keyword or a sound or a video. In the end, AI will detect and focus on something that seems abnormal. And of course, we are not there yet. And I think a lot has to be done. What also Lucas mentioned, the AI needs to understand better, also more the broader situation that right now is still be done by humans. But in that way, I think AI is definitely has value for the decision maker to become quicker and with more confidence what you already think or have a feeling when analyzing the data.
Good. So I heard keywords like filtering data, categorizing data, make it understandable, about triage, about lowering tiredness of operators, about suppressing noise and filtering noise. Yeah, so it's visible you are a person working purely with data, any data, and basically outputs from physical security products are nothing else than data, basically only in the different forms, right? Video, audio, whatever, events, alarms, but this is nothing else than data, and AI can help them to categorize.
One last thing I wanted to say, because also Lucas mentioned it before, in the end, the new European AI Act says exactly that the decision making in SOCs or working with AI should still remain with the operator. And I'm 100% convinced that AI can do 90% of the SOC work. But in the end, the 10% of making the decision and then dispatching or reacting on a situation, that lies with the operators. In the end, AI does all the stuff that we don't have time for because we are flooded with information. So 95% or 90% will be the AI processing the data and showing it us. But the analysis or really the reaction, then the decision making should stay with the operator. And in that way, it's really describing a synergy between the AI and then the human decision and gut feeling and expertise of the operator then deciding on the information that was processed.
Okay, thank you very much for insightful thoughts. And that was really interesting. And let's say, okay, let's stay still for the next one as well. The last question. So why hasn't AI-driven OSINT translated into physical security yet? What's your opinion on that?
I think one advantage that I have as an OSINT analyst in using AI is that I don't need physical sensors or technology like Lucas or Pavel. They need the cameras, they cost money, and the microphone. So I think OSINT AI is way widely used, but also in physical security yet. On one hand, on OSINT, it's used more widely there because there is no physical constraint or hardware barriers. So, but the moment I go in a physical security team or operation center, there it's only about hardware. And I will come into a system that we talked about it before. It's kind of old. The CCTV camera, I look at a screen and it's something that we're doing over 20 years. And that's the biggest organizational or the biggest challenges we face with AI is facing not only the technical, but also the cultural or organizational obstacles. When you go to an operation center that is doing this for 20 years and tell them, hey, use AI, everyone will be reluctant to change. And that is totally normal. But in that way, I think to really better translate, we need to take away the fear, educate the people, and in the end, the AI will only be as good as the decision maker is trained to work with AI. So that's where I think everything will start to learn more and train people with AI. So they become a synergy and work better in the future. But right now, looking at the old systems of security operation rooms with CCTV, it's really reluctant to change because it's we ask more from them. Just not look at the screen, but look at the information the AI gives you and decide on that. It's way easier to just say, I see something, I press a red button and something happens, than AI showing me, hey, can you please help me interpret this and then decide what you're going to do with this information. So I think hardware constraint, culture, and any organizational and thinking obstacles are still there. And what can we do to overcome this? I think we need to educate the people in the organization better, move them to change because change is inevitable, especially with AI and the technologies that are evolving around us. And the last thing is train better the human that works then better in the synergy with AI. So he understands fully what the AI is doing, and in that way can verify and also confirm that the process is correct. And yeah.
Cool. So you basically very nicely summarized what Pavel, Lukáš, and Lukáš already were talking about. So I'm glad that at the end of our discussion, we ended up with the confirmation. So thank you very much, all speakers. And let me basically wrap up what we have heard today. Yes, AI is already helping in security. We see it in smart sensors like cameras, sound detectors, and also control room software, helping operators find the right information faster and react faster and better. But the big problem is adoption, as we heard from all speakers, especially in public sector. From my experience, because I didn't express yet my experience, from my experience, both as me as a PhD researcher, but also as a person working with companies in practical life, like Axis, I can tell you that it's not about the technology. The technology is ready, basically. The problem is the way people think. There is a lot of fear of change. We heard about that from other speakers as well. There is a lot of working in silos. This is only other words for what we already heard. Departments not sharing data, not working together. I think Pavel was talking about it, that we are working in silos and not willing to share things. And often people say, we don't have the budget or the law doesn't allow it. But in many cases, it's just an excuse because the technology can save money at the end of the day if it is used correctly and well. And at the end, I just wanted to share one real case study, just confirming that using AI is efficient and bringing a lot of saved, in this case, lives. So last autumn, we did a test at Václav Havel Airport in Prague together with JALUD Embedded. We simulated an active shooter, or not we, it was the police of Czech Republic, but we were part of this event, basically training event. One version had a traditional response, waiting for witnesses to call the police, like the traditional way of getting information to the SOC. The other used smart sensors, in this case, sound detection and AI cameras, and the difference was huge. It was basically response time was 97% faster. So it came from minutes to seconds, basically. So average time for technology was 5 seconds from first intruder came into the building up to until the system was informed and warned. Traditional way was 3-4 minutes, which is basically critical difference. So I'll leave you with one question at the end of the whole webinar. If we already have a technology that can save lives, protect people and property, why we are not using it more? So it's an open question. We don't need to answer it. It's for you, all participants, also for you, panelists. So basically, this brings us to the end of the main part of today's webinar. We really appreciate your time and engagement. We would love to hear your thoughts now. So as I announced at the beginning, now it's time for the second poll. Please take a moment and share your feedback in the short pop-up survey, which you just see on your screen. So just mark a few sentences or use numbers from 1 to 10. 10 is the best. And do whatever you want. Just somehow give us a feedback. And for those who need to leave now, thank you so much for being with us today. You are welcome to disconnect at this point. As I said at the beginning, now is the time. And for those who would like to stay, let's move on to your questions. We will first take a look at ones already posted in Q&A questions. So Marketa, do we have any questions or not? And if you haven't asked it and you want to ask, now is the time as well. So you can check it.
There was one question in the chat, but Lucas has answered. He wrote an answer. So
okay.
if
Good. So no questions. Probably we discussed everything very deeply, so there are no questions, which is actually also good. So basically, we truly appreciate your time and interest. Let's keep the conversation going in the future, and we hope to see you again at one of our next events. Thank you very much. That's it.
So thank you. Goodbye. Thank you for invitation.
Thank you.
And you are welcome in Plzeň.
Thank you. Thank you for also coming and for being there. Have a great day, guys. Bye.
Thank you.